So once upon a time, there lived a little girl who came into this world knowing that she was destined to paint great pictures. And as she started to grow up and look around and watch the people around her, she noticed that they were painting with maybe one, sometimes two colors, and only really using one paintbrush at a time. They handed her her own paintbrush and she too started to paint exactly the way that she was seeing other people paint, because perhaps that was the way to do it. And as she started to get older, she noticed that even those around her, her family or other people in her life, sometimes got other people to help them paint their picture or even paint the picture on their behalf. And so she too started to think that perhaps the right thing to do was to ask other people to hold the paintbrush for her and paint the picture that was her life. One day she discovered a box, and in that box was an infinite amount of colors, all the colors that she could imagine, just sitting there waiting, infinite possibilities. Next to the colors were infinite amounts of paintbrushes, all shapes and sizes. And when she lifted them to take a closer look, she noticed that her name was emblazed in gold along each paintbrush, as if they were always destined to sit in her hand for her to use infinite colors and paintbrushes to paint exactly how she wanted to. She initially felt scared and thought that maybe she just would pick one color, one extra color, maybe that would be okay to do that. And she picked up perhaps a pink and started to use that along with the usual black and white that she had used all her life, and eventually started to maybe tap into a little bit of yellow. And as she started to go along, she really started to feel that the pink and the yellow was all that she could use, and that kept her a little bit different, but not so different that people would perhaps reject her paintings, or she would feel unsafe in the paintings or the things that she was creating. Interesting. Who is that little girl? Well, she's definitely me, and I have a feeling that she might be you as well. And the question that I want to pose today by creating this video is to use the story to paint the picture for you, to finally ask yourself some questions about the picture that you're painting. If you're anything like me and you've started a business, it's because on a deep level, you're a very creative person. Now, creation comes in all shapes and sizes, just like the different paintbrushes and the colors that are available to us. But ultimately, the gene code of being an entrepreneur means that you started this for something bigger, to create something brighter than perhaps what you had already been creating. Now, whatever your reason, as we go along the journey, we tend to pick up opportunities to develop ourselves as humans. I mean, business is ultimately one of the biggest personal development journeys you'll ever go on. But where along the lines do we stop picking up more and more colors? Where along the lines do we still paint in the lines that were set by perhaps our family ideals or culture, or what our nervous system deems safe for us to use? And my question today is, what would happen if you scrapped that picture completely? What happens if you just gave yourself a blank canvas and you really started to use the infinite amounts of colors and tools that you have at your fingertips to paint a picture that you want? What would your business be like? How would it be different? What would your clients be like, and how would they be different? What would your bank balance be like, and how would that be different? What would your relationships be like, and how would it be different? You have an infinite amount of potential and magic right at your fingertips. You know that you came here to do amazing things, to create amazing things in your business and also in your life. And if anything, I hope that this video poses as just a very short reminder that it's time to bring out the blank canvas. It's time to paint in multicolor rainbows And it's time to paint exactly what you want, because you're safe to create a life, you're safe to create a business and a way of being that is right for you. So stop asking for permission for what colours you can use and just get right into using the paints to paint the picture of your life and leave your legacy on this world.